Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Rehan and I am serving as an IT assistant at Government College of Technology for Women, Lytton Road, Lahore. And also, I am a learner and trainer at Rehan AI Teacher Institute. You are watching my Facebook and YouTube channel. Today, I am going to have an interesting conversation with ChatGPT about a very important topic, emotional intelligence, what it is, why it matters, and how we can develop it in our personal and professional life. We often talk about IQ, technical skills, education, and qualification, but emotional intelligence is something that can have a huge impact on our relationships, communication, leadership, and success. So let's start our conversation with ChatGPT. Hello, ChatGPT. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. ChatGPT, my first question is uh, let's start with the basics. What exactly it is emotional intelligence and how would you explain it in simple words?
Sure. Emotional intelligence basically means being aware of your own feelings, managing them instead of letting them take over, and also being able to notice how others might be feeling too. So, in simple terms, it's like noticing the weather inside you, like stress or calm or excitement or overwhelmed. And instead of ignoring that, you handle it in a way that's healthy. And at the same time, you pick up on other people's signals. So you're not missing when someone might be feeling off, even if they're not saying it out loud. So it's less about being emotional and more about being aware and intentional.
We usually hear a lot about IQ and intelligence. Is emotional intelligence more important than IQ?
That's a good question. It's not really about one being more important, it's more about balance. IQ can show how sharp you are at solving problems or learning new things, but EQ shapes how well you work with people, handle stress, or navigate teamwork. You can be brilliant academically, but if you can't connect with colleagues or manage your emotions, it can limit your success. So think of it as IQ getting you in the door and EQ helping you thrive once you're inside. So both matter, and together they're much stronger than either one alone.
ChatGPT, what are the major components or skills that make up emotional intelligence?
Sure. The main pieces are usually for self awareness, that's knowing what you're feeling and how it affects you. Second is self regulation, that's keeping your reactions in check instead of just reacting immediately. Then you've got empathy, being able to tune in to how others might be feeling. And finally, relationship skills, which is using all that to communicate well, resolve conflicts, and build trust. So, understand yourself, manage your reactions, feel with people, and keep relationships healthy.
Why is emotional intelligence so important in the workplace, especially for teachers, managers, leaders, and IT professionals?
That's a good one. In the workplace, emotional intelligence is often what makes technical skills actually effective. So, for teachers, it means noticing when students are anxious or disconnected and adjusting their tone or their methods. For managers and leaders, it helps to create trust. It helps to give feedback in ways that don't crush morale and handle conflicts in a way that doesn't divide people. And for IT professionals, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of deadlines and technical issues. So being able to explain those things with patience and clarity to people who aren't necessarily familiar with the jargon is very important. So without good emotional intelligence, even smart teams can fall apart because of miscommunication or stress. So that makes it just as vital as technical knowledge.
Okay. Is emotional intelligence something we are born with, or can we actually develop and improve it?
The good news is that it can definitely be developed. Some people might naturally lean towards being more empathetic or calm, but all the core skills like naming your feelings, pausing before reacting, practicing active listening, those can be practiced and improved over time. It's like a muscle you train. So it's not fixed at birth. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes over time.
One common problem is reacting emotionally, especially when we are angry. How can emotional intelligence help us control our reactions?
When emotions like anger come up, emotional intelligence basically gives you a pause button. So instead of reacting immediately, you take a breath, slow down, and name what's happening. For example, saying, I'm feeling angry right now. Why is that? Just that small step can take the sting out of it a little bit. And then you can choose how you respond instead of just immediately reacting. So walk away from the argument, take a sip of water, or if it's work, maybe ask a clarifying question instead of snapping. Over time, that choice becomes more natural. So it's less about suppressing anger and it's more about steering it so that your emotions don't make decisions for you.
What is empathy?
Empathy is much less complicated than people make it out to be. It's just simply tuning into how someone else might be feeling, even if they're not saying it out loud. It's imagining their perspective without needing to agree with them or fix anything right away. It just listening and acknowledging someone can really shift a situation. So, like saying, I can see this is frustrating for you. And that shows empathy. It's not sympathy and it's not fixing something for someone. It's just human understanding. And sometimes that makes people feel better immediately. And over time, that's what really builds strong connections.
How can emotional intelligence help us become better communicators?
Great question. Emotional intelligence can make communication smoother and more meaningful. When you're aware of your own emotions, you can choose words that actually match what you really want to say instead of letting frustration shape something harsher than what you mean. And when you pick up on someone else's mood, you can adjust your tone. So you're not missing subtle hints at all. So instead of talking at people, you're engaging with them. That makes conversations more respectful, more balanced, and ultimately more effective.
What are simple ways to improve EQ every day?
There are lots of simple things you can do. So, one is pausing before you react, just taking a breath when you feel triggered. Um, Naming your emotions helps too. So, instead of just bad day, you'll really slow down and see if it's actually frustration or stress or another emotion disguising itself. Another is active listening. So, this is where you're really hearing what someone else is saying instead of just planning your answer. And then reflecting at the end of the day about how you handle situations, it really helps to slowly build your emotional intelligence. And, even tiny habits like checking in with yourself in the morning or noticing your tension in your shoulders, that can start to build the skill over time.
Finally, if you had to give us one important message about emotional intelligence, what would it be?
Hmm. I think the most important message is that emotional intelligence is just as important as like technical skill. So being smart isn't just what you know, it's how you handle yourself and other people. So we really should focus on practicing self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and relationship skills, because that is what holds us together as humans and in teams. And it's these skills that make knowledge actually useful in the real world.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for this interesting conversation, and thank you for everyone for watching. Today, we learned that emotional intelligence is not simply about controlling emotions. It is about understanding ourselves, managing our reactions, understanding others, practicing empathy, and building stronger relationships. If you found this conversation useful, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more educational and technology related content. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep improving your emotional intelligence. Thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.